What happened to Rodchenko? I don't know.
Something horrible.
Okay, so you're kind of a materialist for this time being. None of that spirit. That spirit stuff is all psychosomatic.
I went to a funeral this morning.
Whoa.
You're laughing?
Well, just in relation to this conversation and that fact, it's hilarious. Yeah, I wasn't particularly close with this person. I went to this funeral to support my grandma, whose brother died. But
condolences.
Yeah, mine too. I don't feel affected by it personally. But
that sort of thing will make you think about death. Like just being in the presence.
I don't think about death.
Interesting.
You're too young to think about death.
I think about death every day.
Yeah, he thinks about death.
Do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, thinking about it?
No.
Do I have a problem with that?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Well, he's a bit of a paranoid person, so I think sometimes
He's sitting right next to you.
And I've said this to his face.
And
I call him OCD paranoid all the time.
Okay, and then Ash, what is your reaction to this?
Bewilderment and how people are different than me. Like, I don't know. It's never gone away, the thing that, like, being scared of dying. Even when it's gotten, like, really easy to convince myself it's not a terrible thing, which, you know, is always just this sort of psychological, like, exercise. It's never, like, anything but that until, I don't know, people die or things get really bad for you. And that, but it's all, I've always been so afraid of it that it's not, like...
Just a complete darkness.
Yeah.
And there's no light.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is, like, there's, like, it's... I feel like humanity has been a series of, like, black box sort of, like, logic experiments, and there's always been, like, things we don't understand, and that's been the thing that has answered certain questions for us about, like, what we do know. And now we know so many things, like, on the other side of that equation, but we still can't get inside that box. And with the ghosts and shit, it's, like, the same thing. Now it's like there's UFOs, and there's conspiracy theories, and there's, like, speculative science fiction, you know, there's like thought experiments that are so insane and scary that they're like part of the death question or something.
Interesting. Like, which thought experiment?
I can't. There's one I won't even say the name of because it literally, from like being told even in this capacity, you are like put into a system of like speculative horror that like is profound, and like it's just looking up something and like reading about it, and then
Jesus.
Yeah, like the guy who painted that told me about it, and he's really interested in sleeping demons.
Which one is it?
Sleep paralysis demons.
Oh, fascinating. Who is this guy?
His name's Mylene Rader.
We gotta hear it.
It's a pretty scary piece. We were gonna hang it there, and I was like, "There's no way I can face that."
Well, you're facing this black void.
Well, look at all the books covering it.
Okay, that's good.
And we get to see this one.
Oh, that's
kind
nice.
of triumphant.
I like that.
Yeah, I like the
Sorry, Ashton.
But the ghost question.
So just hearing about it, you lose your innocence.
Exactly. It implicates you in something that is very...
Man, it's like the game. Like, you know about the game?
It's the game, but in terms of
Like,
like
what's
science
the
fiction.
Don't
You've
ask
lost
about
the
the game. Yeah, you've lost the game.
Okay, so now I'm gonna what's gonna happen to me?
Well,
You just have to carry that.
It resets.
I have to carry
until
this?
You were probably winning the game. Because you didn't know about it all this time, but now you know.
Oh, it's like Nietzsche's. It's like eternal recurrence.
Yeah,
like it's gonna.
It's
you
the
start from.
stupidest thing, and then you're like, oh my god, I fucking hate that thing.
You just graduated now, right? Or recently?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Being graduated?
Yeah, being a graduate.
I think I prefer
The diploma and tails and a chapeau and
The only job I tried to get with my degree was a babysitting job. So
Why don't you just get what women are supposed to do and get married and be a secretary or something?
Good question to me.
And be a secretary? That's still working. If I'm getting married, I hope at least I don't have to work.
Would you ever marry an artist?
What?
I
Would you
think-
guys? Would you, Gabrielle? I feel like you would have more
Yes,
experience than us.
I
You would marry
I
me.
would if we had the connection, the right connection, of course.
We could trust them.
I'm sorry, but
What
You can't be
about an
too
artist that
honest
was like
in this.
better and just way more advanced than you and just more famous?
I
and,
would.
And just really, really much better person and
I wouldn't.
just really knew.
I don't like being on that side of the dynamic.
It's very scary, I agree. It sucks to be on this side of the dynamic.
but think how much it would grow.
Exactly.
But yeah, it would be.
I've quoted your thing that you wrote in one of your comics to you before, where you say, I like to date people that are smarter than me, so by the end at least I've learned something.
Yeah, that's nice. So you like that too?
Yeah. I mean, but then it's actually very painful when if things don't work out, if they're smarter than you feel like,
It hurts. Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have a broken heart?
I think so. I think I have a few. No, maybe just one.
Do people have more than one heart to
I
break?
have a chronic broken heart.
Well,
I mean, because it could just be acid reflux or something. It's not your heart.
Actually theological.
do
Sorry.
you have a broken heart, Tony?
It's not about me, it's about you.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't like that dynamic as much.
Okay, it's about me. You like that? Do you want to switch? If somebody wants, they could just stand on the table and draw. Anybody that wants to take their shirt off, they can too.
Whoa.
This is how my pornography.
We're just playing poker.
That would be cool. I would watch that. See, that's got a real...
Yeah,
Who in the comics community would you like to see in a soft core porn
I want-
made for ladies?
I wanted to do a calendar of cartoonists' feet, and we would all build dioramas and take photos of our feet, and then make a calendar out
But
of
you
it.
didn't answer the question.
Oh, who do I want to see naked?
Well, name them, but this is going to be broadcast. So.
I've seen Cade naked.
Yeah, everybody has for hours at a time.
Honestly,
It's been-
that felt like I didn't know that he was the person that I would want to see naked, but it was a solid viewing
He's
of
a
him
piece of
naked.
art, yeah.
I felt like I didn't need to see anybody else naked. Sophie Grum? I don't know.
Roz Chats.
Ross Chat.
Yes.
Well, I feel like it would be more
The corpse
interesting
of Harvey Picard.
to do someone that you knew who just happens to be a cartoonist. That's like where the real curiosity lies.
Yeah, but it's gonna get back to you.
When you say it on this
Yeah,
video
yeah,
that all my
yeah.
friends are gonna watch.
Yeah, exactly.
I doubt it. I doubt they'll have the stamina for more than 5 minutes.
Do you listen to like audiobooks or
Yeah.
or podcasts and things like that?
Exclusively.
Yeah. And,
Ashton's read more books. You know what? Somebody was like, I don't know. I guess I was talking to James about you, and he was like, "Oh, why does he struggle with these things?" And I was like, "Because he's read so much, I think, or whatever."
Yeah.
That's
and
just
then
how.
he said, I don't.
And
read
he
it."
was like, "Well, I've read a lot," and I was like, "No, Ashton has read."
That's what I mean.
Okay.
It's Gabrielle turned me on to like some audiobooks, and I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, the only way I can get through a Clarice Lispector is through 18 hours of
Right.
audio. I can't read that.
I
So it
was a
works.
skeptic, but I'm also converted.
Converted.
Well, you know. I mean, I think whatever will work. But then that frustrating when you like can't listen to music and you can't listen to audiobooks and you want to die.
Yes,
Yeah,
I want to
Oh my
die.
God.
Yes, I know that wanting to die feeling.
In your
Or like
brain.
when you're writing and you're trying to
Yes.
work out some,
Yeah, writing's really hard to listen to anything.
Exactly, yeah.
but like you want to escape.
Yeah.
Writing really puts your
I
nose
feel
in
like
it.
you're forcing the writing when you're doing that, though. Like,
Mhm.
or something. The writing should be that much,
So it should.
like that involved. But I can't get there a lot.
Me neither.
It's hard to get there. It's like every 2 weeks or something.
And how do you manage to get there?
By shirking my responsibilities. By feeling good about not going to social events. That's how I write.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is when I'm avoiding everybody.
Do you
And I feel really good about
you don't feel like you are missing out? I don't know how the
it
youth say that.
fuels fuels the writing. Like it's
You
like
have to
this is
earn
so much more worth it.
It totally is, actually. It is.
Wait.
Sometimes,
It is.
but when you're just doing bullshit, it's not.
Yeah,
when
like
you're
this.
just-
Bullshit like this.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I think a lot of people it's when they're inking, but like for me it's
Right.
when I'm rendering because the rendering is after the drawing. The drawing is when I'm writing, and that's the most fun part.
The drawing is when you're writing.
Yeah. The writing and the drawing come at the same time. Usually.
Okay.
Well, it's just recently.
It's like storytelling, but you're
Yeah.
telling a story with the drawing.
Yeah, and I can't get too far into it without having to go back and stuff. So there's like a lot of problems with it right now. It's not comfortable. I haven't like compartmentalized it very well like other people have, I think.
This is the problem with comics, though. You can never really get into a flow. Like with painting or writing, you can sort of enter this dream that you're just like creating this dream as you're going. But with comics, you just like constantly have to stop, assess, redo, go back, undo.
Do you think that that's true, Juliette, for your experience?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I think actually about that.
I think Juliette vibes pretty hard
Yeah.
when
Juliette
she's
is
writing.
is a master viber.
Yeah.
She's a what?
She is the queen of vibing.
It sounded like something different. Juliette, do you think
good.
that your best years are in front of you or behind you? Your best work?
I don't know. I think that
What
also
kind of
depends.
question is
I'm
that?
saying, have you peaked?
It depends if I'm gonna die soon,
Yeah.
which is something I don't have control
No,
over.
but your work just keeps getting better and better, I think.
You think?
Yeah,
As it should.
I do.
As it does.
I'm wondering how everybody's feeling about, I guess, their practice right
I think
now.
it's taste based too. Somebody like Austin might like.
True.
Is Austin our friend or our enemy or
Our friend.
frenemy?
Actually, we need to powwow about this.
Yeah. We're gonna do one of these with Austin soon.
Good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wait, we need to powwow.
Austin wonders what your job is, Tony.
I always want Austin just to call me and say, "Hey, let's go to the bowling alley and do a bunch of bowls
Do a
and
bunch of
strikes.
blow.
I have this.
Do a bunch of blow on this hooker's tits." Yeah, you,
This is your fantasy.
no, he's a great guy.
And
So
that's always
there's
the
this
point of
there's
confession,
this
so.
bit now that I do it where he's like, oh, I think I'm gonna go home. Like, oh, you know, like, what's for dinner? Are you cooking? like we can come, right? And it makes him so uncomfortable. But yeah, he's definitely a friend. I think his heart's in the right place when it comes to artwork.
But I brought him up because I think he would, like, I think he likes the stuff I started doing first, and that's when I first met him. And I don't know if what I'm doing.
You don't know.
I don't know, but
As that, everybody has a co-host. Everybody has an audience and also an online and offline, and everybody has that connection with different people. Am I stoned?
Everybody's a sidekick.
My entire life I felt like I was a sidekick, actually. That I was not the center, you know.
Are you, what sibling are you?
Middle.
Okay.
But you were like always the sort of.
But I was the only boy.
You were the only boy, and you were kind of.
But I was a fey boy.
Tony was the child of immigrants, and so
Yeah.
he had to do a lot of translating and taking care of and taking.
I had to translate for my parents. They're like, "What is this?
You had to grow
What
up very
this?
fast.
What does this letter say?" It says you have to report to court in 2 weeks. All the
The
same.
weight of responsibility in that family was all put on Tony.
I was the man of the house at the age 6.5.
Really?
Yeah, it's like the old. It's like the 19th century.
This is
you know?
pasta?
Yes.
this is a guitar to me, obviously.
How's your brother doing? Did he find a date?
My brother?
Was that his date that one time?
Ooh, no.
Oh.
My brother has all these friends, you know. He's doing well. I went to a club with him in Ireland. It was when my mom was like, "Oh, I have some friends in Ireland. They're gonna get you on the list for this club." Julian and Juliette.
But what are you guys' deepest fears, that you'll never reach your full potential, or would you
No, that I'll be imprisoned or killed.
Mine
in
is that
prison?
I'm a
What?
bad
What would
person.
you have done? What is your guilt? Like, what do you?
We're zoom in. No, we all are guilty. Like it's not. That's sure fine.
Oh yeah, he is very legitimately afraid that he's going to be censored and
Yeah.
and like
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think if you see anything about the world, like that is a possibility, if not like, you know.
Oh no! Wow, these are really inky.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, I'm learning. They're so nice.
If the transfer of information worldwide at the speed it's going has indicated anything, it's that an individual means more maybe than what it did a while ago. Like in a specific way. Like it scales simultaneously in both directions. Where maybe like you talking to somebody on the street 50 years ago means way more than it does now, but now an individual is sort of, you know, microscopically perceivable by like lots of things, lots of entities of power and destruction, or, you know, assimilation, or
So
benevolence or stuff. There's like a lot that can happen, but
So
I'm
it-
generally paranoid.
the individual has more power today, is what you're saying?
It's more representable or something. Like it's more like.
Or like somebody could go on TikTok
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
become visible to like
every
hundreds of
week I
thousands.
get in notifications from a LinkedIn I made in high school that tells me people are looking my name up and stuff, you know?
Yeesh.
Yeah, things like that. I wish I didn't make a LinkedIn account in high school.
I bet you could delete it though.
Yeah, but
So-
it's also indicative of like, you know, if not a bot trolling through old LinkedIn accounts, then like real things that I can't see happen.
Well, but back in the day, like you would be living in a village of 28 people, 28 families, and then like they would all know your business.
It's true.
Like, what do you have to hide? Oh yeah, isn't it terrible? She's pregnant and the guy wouldn't marry her. He threw her down a well. You know,
Well,
they would know
it's-
that.
It's the same sort of thing, I think. But it's different. And like I don't relate to like people really caring about that sort of stuff. But I do care about like real violence. You know, like real actual things happening to me as a person. Maybe like you wouldn't think that the king was going to come to the town ever because the king never fucking came to the town. But like.
Well, now that Trump's
you
going to
know.
be the king, he's going to come to town.
Exactly.
You know, and he's going to come to town without clothes, and it doesn't matter because he could walk down the street
I'd
on
like to
Fifth
see him
Avenue
naked.
with no clothes, and no one would care.
Whoa, if we actually literally enacted the emperor wears no clothes and nobody's like,
That would
isn't
be-
this just like that,
Right.
that one, like that kid is like, I got a story about this.
What do you think about the people that raise their hands and they're like, "What time do you get up in the morning?" That's insane to me.
What?
Nobody's ever asked me that, but I have a good answer. I wake
Tell
up at
us.
9 o'clock every morning, regardless of. Well, sometimes I skip them.
Where do you get your ideas?
That's the other one. That's the
Nobody's
one.
ever asked you that?
No, that's the funny one. That's the one where you want to shoot yourself in the head.
How can I become a successful? I'm a 16-year-old kid. Like,
Yeah.
how do I break into the comics industry?
Yeah, you-
Smoke weed.
Smoke weed. Yeah, smoke more weed. Smoke more weed.
Hang out with people who smoke weed, and
Yeah,
then you'll
hang
know
out
how to
with
talk
those-
to these.
And they're like, okay, how do I break into the?
So maybe you're not smoking enough weed.
Yeah.
Maybe you're
Smoking
not.
occasionally, but maybe you think
But
I get
no,
better if I
Gabrielle.
smoke.
Ashton made this assessment about someone else who wasn't you, but I think it applies. I think if you want to be around these people, they will be around you.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like you're hanging out with these people, that's because you're choosing not to.
Yeah.
Because I just think people have a reverence and appreciation for you and think things, or I don't know, not because of your career, just because of the way that you hold yourself in a public space. So I think you're doing just fine. Being facetious.
I won't mind that.
Just black it out.
School, yeah. Like Tarantino is just like, I didn't go to film school. I actually just went to films.
Yeah.
You know, just you don't need
But
that.
art school at this point doesn't really help you to make art anymore. It like,
You help me.
well, it helped me too, but it's not the pedagogy that
My art got better.
art of
So you can do an I love jizz.
It's jazz, man.
Oh, jazz. Sorry. For what?
Freudian slip.
I can't see from over here.
Nothing wrong with loving jizz.
Who likes jizz? It's gross.
There was
so
a whole
did-
thing that they were saying. It's like it's got what
You wouldn't know, right? A friend of yours told you.
It's good for your face. It's good
For
your
a facial.
Skin. Yeah.
So,
people
did you
were-
ever have-
That was like a thing. for
Did
a
you
while.
ever have a professor that you're like, oh my god, you really turned me on to, and now I'm,
Only
thank you,
one.
thank you,
Only
thank you for
one.
doing that.
I've been waiting for that for so long.
Who is that?
Well, one of my professors, Cristobal. I still think about him. I'll email him soon. He's awesome.
Did you sleep with him?
Nope.
Okay. Because that's a part of it.
I think it is a part of it.
It's kind of old school. Though.
Okay, so who was it? And
Get fired.
It doesn't happen as much as it used to. It used
Yes,
to happen
it used to
as
happen.
it doesn't happen as much anymore, really?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't. It doesn't happen. I mean,
I gotcha.
actually, he's dating an ex-student.
Oh, wow.
But it's
Or married
it's
to.
when it
with
was.
children.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
When did they meet?
But he's one of like 3. Like there's like a few, not that many male teachers at our school, and each of them
Gotcha.
is or was married to an ex-student.
That's crazy.
There's
I mean, I guess that's where they would. Why don't they go on Grindr or something, or wherever they go on?
Because they're entrenched.
Humiliate them.
Never.
Why not?
What? Can I say something else?
Yes.
The one time I didn't like this teacher, we were
Yes.
having this conversation with some students. I ran into them in front of a restaurant, and we were talking about like this list of people who have had sex with the most people, and the first person on this list is Genghis Khan, and
I think we're all related to him, right?
well, a large portion of us
Yeah.
are. But then, like, the next 2 people, or maybe a few down from that, were these prostitutes, and he was like, they don't count, though.
Wow. Because they weren't world historical figures. They were just trashy women in Marseille.
That's the one time I didn't like him.
Why did he justify it?
They were, yeah, like, I don't know, like, there was another dude there, and he, like, chuckled, so it was like, okay. I was just like, what? What?
I can hear him saying it in his joke voice.
Yeah, that I was wondering. I've been wondering ever since,
has a
actually.
joke.
Is he a
Was
boomer?
he joking?
He has a joke voice.
No,
Yeah.
I think we ended up continuing to talk about it, and they were like,
I think
"No,
he's Gen
come on,"
X.
because that's like their job or whatever. And it's like, what? Genghis Khan's job was to be a fucking, you know,
Desperate.
yeah. So like,
To be a head rapist.
yeah, be head fucking rapist of the world. Fuck. Yeah. Sorry.
So that was the one time that you thought that, you know what, you're not my favorite teacher after all. It's my 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah.
That is
Still
my
my
favorite.
favorite teacher, which goes to show.
If you can't teach, you know what I mean?
You think we should be teachers?
I think you guys would make great teachers.
I don't know. We're kind of. No.
Don't speak for me, honestly.
Do you want to be a teacher?
I don't know.
Think about
Like
We're
the
fighting
job-
over each other for
Yeah,
these jobs.
yeah, we're
It's silly.
knifing each other
Silly.
in the back for them and
Oh
like
my
shit
God.
talking each other. It's,
Mhm.
it's so vicious.
You can't. I feel like anyone could get a job at the Strand.
That's
Ooh,
but
that's
you can't
scary.
understand, but that's
That's
the
scary.
worst bookstore. Like people that work there hate books.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, do you?
I
You know,
worked there for-
They don't want to talk to you. You're just like a number,
Yeah.
a letter,
I,
a semicolon.
I couldn't work at like an amusement park, and that place is like an amusement park.
it's just
Did you apply to work as a carny?
Yeah.
What was the
did?
rock?
No.
Don't,
I just
why
don't
are
know
you
what to
lying now? Why are
because
you
it's
lying?
Why are you
Obviously.
lying? What's your favorite? Like, what kind of job would you?
Well,
That didn't matter.
I've been working
Very
at the print shop for 9 months now.
That's a skill job.
No, no. I mean, in a way it is, but then I'm printing 6,000 of something. Like I can't be. skilled
Oh
at
yeah,
that. I'm like,
6,000.
that's too many. And then
Did you do any of these?
No. Well, that's the fun part. That's the part that I wish they would pay us for. You know?
Yeah,
But
that would
they,
be nice.
well, we're trying to figure it out. But so I liked my job because I got to listen to whatever I wanted, and that's nice. And I'm trusted usually, and I'm a really ritualistic person, so I like take my smoke breaks at the same time every day, and I eat
Right.
at the same places, and it's like, it's easy now. But it's gotten really fucking boring, and
So it was a Jewish ceremony, and it's. I mean, I connect to that culture in like weird ways that I don't understand. So it was nice. This is like one of the religious ceremonies that was very religious or something. So that was interesting. But when the speeches were, I was just like, God, how could you say something so trite? So, one person wrote a kind of poem, which wasn't really a poem. It was just prose about this this interaction they had with the person who passed. But yeah, I was mostly being very critical of the things that they had written. 3 people called him a mensch. They were like,
That's so
you know,
funny.
they were like.
So you're like, so it looks. I mean, I guess I'm not going to invite you to my funeral because I feel like you're going to be critical.
Of the,
You're like,
of the speakers,
the-
and of course
the
they have, like,
appetizers-
they have like 24 hours to write this because in Jewish tradition you bury immediately.
You should have read you should have did a slideshow of one of your comics.
Yeah. My grandma, surprisingly, who I was there to support, didn't say anything, and I wondered why.
That's her brother, right?
That's her brother.
Yeah.
But I guess, I mean, I don't know. It's such a weird thing. She was recounting a funeral that she had to do this whole, and then you sit shiva for like 4 days to like a week maybe after the person dies. Their house is just open or their family's house is just open for everybody to come in and keep company to the mourners. And it's like, basically the understanding or like the tradition is these people aren't ready to face this yet. You have to distract them for about a week and then they can like fully process it. But my grandma was just like, get the fuck out of here. I want to be alone. I want to like be alone and mourn. They're sad and like just going through their emotions in a way that was raw, and weddings are
But
Shit.
probably most of them are divorced now.
Really?
Like,
Half of them that I know are divorced.
Statistic.
that's
That's
crazy.
literally the
That's
statistic.
how much it
literally
is,
the
yeah.
statistic.
And it lasts like I just.
You're enjoying that one. It is funny.
No, but when they never tell you they're gonna get. They're like, oh, I just got a divorce.
I think, isn't it like among like the anarchist people? Isn't it maybe less people getting married, or do they all get married too?
What statistic is this?
I'm just saying, I can't imagine a lot of people
yeah,
that
but
we
the
know.
anarchists will grow up and then they'll get married and then they'll just like disavow everything they believed in their youth, or they'll
Really?
try to incorporate it into their modern.
Yeah, they'll have an open marriage and they'll say, oh, this was a disaster. Let's just go back to what we were doing, and then.
And all the nuns are kind of fighting over him. It's kind of like one of those tepid A4 movies.
What's the most amazing film you guys have seen in the last 46 hours?
I haven't seen a film in 46 hours.
The Dead Zone.
What was
This
that?
one's amazing.
I watched
Love
the
the
French
Dead-
Connection.
French Connection 1 and 2 are just awesome.
I only seen the first one, but
Yeah. Gene Hackman, man,
French
it's like unbelievable.
Connection?
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, you know.
Apparently, you could buy drugs in the south of France, or I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
There's
that
a
was-
lot of
yeah.
heroin. in
It's
the
a lot of
south
heroin
France.
there.
I just saw in the last 48 hours Dirty Rotten Scoundrel.
Oh, another 48 Hours was great.
Wow. How was it?
I've never seen it.
48 hours.
It was Eddie Murphy, like I don't know. It's when he's singing Roxanne. Roxanne.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrel.
So you
was
guys,
wonderful.
your generation doesn't watch movies because they take too long to finish,
No,
right?
that's not true.
That's not
It's
true.
just us that doesn't watch.
Or
movies.
because they suck.
We also
Just-
don't watch TV.
Okay.
I watch baseball every day.
Baseball.
You watch his baseball.
That's
I
a
don't
good
watch.
background.
In a lot of your comics, Gabrielle, you're like throwing away your computer or like disconnecting your Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Still doing
Yeah?
it.
No, that shit's distracting. That
Yeah.
scrolling, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
It should be outlawed.
So I used to like watch YouTube.
Arizona?
He lives in a desert in a trailer home somewhere,
He's on
like
our
maybe
wish
Nevada. I think we want to go to places where people are
He lives in New
isolated.
York.
Not that. That's the other guy with
Mark Baer?
not Mark Baer.
Josh.
Oh,
Josh.
Josh Baer. Oh my god.
That's
Yeah, him.
classic. That's how.
Mark Baer
Yeah, that
lives in
guy.
a trailer park in a.
He's I think.
We don't know that. I
We
think
don't
we
know.
were just making up stories.
No, but
about
I heard that a few years ago, but I don't know. He might not still be alive. I don't know.
Right, I was wondering about that too.
Who do you think that we should do? Well, obviously it's going to have to be Matthew Thurber
It would be
Yeah.
Floyd if he was here
and Floyd.
too.
Yeah, it will be. We could go. We could.
Oh, James and Nick.
There you go.
And Nate would probably be there for that one
I think if HBO pays you guys, could you be on our crew to go to LA or something?
Oh yeah.
To get some of these people in there?
Oh definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if they paid us to go to the Angoulême in France?
Yeah.
Would you be in that crew?
Mhm.
Would you eat the food that was offered at the craft services?
Mhm.
Let me
Yeah.
s-
You don't really.
Only if it was grass fed though.
You have your
And Angoulême,
your
they
writer.
They had cognac.
We're
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
desperate
You
right
could go
now.
in
Yeah,
the green
we're-
room.
Yeah, we're pretty.
We would do a lot of things.
If there was
Have you been
like
to Angoulême?
lunch involved.
You do it for lunch.
Yeah. I would go places, but this seems like your rodeo, not ours. You know, we're just
Yeah,
a
we're-
stop on the way.
Yeah.
You know.
You sound like a Leonard Cohen song.
Oh my god. I've waited years for that.
Just the station on your Why not your lover?
Yes, exactly.
There, now I made it look more continuous with the turkey. Maybe that
Yeah, no,
makes
the
more
the,
sense.
the turkey was so bad. The turkey was so bad.
So we gotta marry the
Yeah. The styles.
the style.
That's a really wonderful idea you had with the table, because the table could be like Last Supper kind of situation.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought there would be
that's
more
nice.
Last Supper.
That's nice.
I hate fucking.
What's bothering you? Name it.
No!
Oh! Why?
I was
I
just
said name it.
We thought it was so
Wait, it's his.
beautiful.
No, it's his decision.
It really
You
does
can't-
bring
can't-
it together.
I didn't like the sun, so I was getting rid of the moon.
No, the
Oh.
sun is good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks
Dude,
better.
let me do the moon
Now it's
baby
3D.
again.
The styles look so beautiful together.
Okay,
They don't
okay,
work
okay.
alone.
Okay. The moon just needed to be bigger and more rugged and white. That's what I
And it needs smiley face.
needed.
Like an old fashioned medieval kind
Oh,
of face.
I see.
We should gorilla hang this somewhere. Like walk into a deli.
It doesn't belong to you.
Oh, you guys keeping them?
I would
Oh,
like
yeah,
to
that
They're on
was-
sale
I
for
would like-
$50,000.
which you guys get a cut. But
You get 1/3.
I was thinking I would like
Actually,
keep them and do like an art show